The first time I saw her, I thought she was a hallucination. We were orbiting Kepler 92d, a newly charted exoplanet with a thin, shimmering atmosphere that scattered light like glass dust. The mission was supposed to be simple: an orbital survey, a few scans, a transmission back to the station. I wasn't supposed to see anything alive down there. But as I stared out the viewport, eyes aching from hours of data readouts, something flickered in the haze. Figure. Luminous. Standing on the plain like a living flame. And before I could stop myself, before I could even process what I was seeing, my heart surged. It wasn't fear. It wasn't wonder. It was love, violent, impossible, immediate. A pulse that felt older than memory itself. And then, through the static of the sensors and the hum of the ship, I felt something respond. The encounter. I was Commander Elias Varon, 37 years old, human liaison to the Terran Expansion Authority. My ship, Odyssey's Wake, was a solo probe runner, a one-man vessel designed to seed the frontier with automated stations. We'd been told Kepler 92d was dead. The spectral analysis showed no oxygen signature, no biological traces, nothing. Yet the telemetry told me there was a presence, an anomalous energy source near the equator. I sent a drone down. Its feed glitched the moment it entered the atmosphere, the visuals fracturing into prismatic chaos. But for one frame, just one, I caught an image. Woman. Silver blue skin, eyes like nebulae. Her body woven with faint trails of light that pulsed in rhythm with the planet's electromagnetic field. She wasn't standing on the ground. She was hovering, surrounded by tendrils of translucent energy that coiled and shimmered like living glass. And she was looking straight into the drone's lens. Straight into me. The moment our gazes met, I felt a pressure behind my eyes, a warmth in my skull, a pulse echoing my heartbeat. My vitals spiked. My ship's AI began reporting cardiovascular irregularities. But I knew, in that terrifying instant, that she wasn't hurting me. She was feeling me. To descent. I broke protocol that night. The authorities' rules were clear. No surface contact without full analysis and a biocontainment team. But I couldn't sleep. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw her face, unearthly yet familiar, a kind of beauty that seemed designed to bypass reason itself. And somewhere in the back of my mind I kept feeling a pull, a thought that wasn't mine. Come down. It wasn't a voice. It was sensation, emotion given form, curiosity, longing, recognition. I couldn't resist it. At dawn cycle, I took the shuttle down through the storm belts. The planet was beautiful from below, crystalline dunes glimmering like frozen oceans, violet clouds illuminated by an unseen sun. The air shimmered with charged particles that danced in electromagnetic ribbons. And there she was, standing at the edge of a basin filled with glass-like spires. She looked as though she were made of the same material, translucent, humming softly. When I stepped from the shuttle, gravity felt weaker, like the world itself was holding its breath. She turned toward me and I felt it again, that pulse synchronized with my own. When she spoke, it wasn't sound. It was inside me. "You are loud," she said. "Your thoughts burn like fire." I swallowed hard, my heart pounding. "You can understand me." Her head tilted slightly, eyes narrowing as if listening to something far away. "I can feel you. You are alone." The words hit deeper than they should have. Maybe because they were true. 3. The mind between worlds. Over the following hours, days perhaps, time felt distorted on Kepler 92d. I learned pieces of her story, though I never fully understood it. Her name, as my mind could perceive it, was Alira. She wasn't born in any human sense. Her kind were energy beings, emergent from the electromagnetic lattice of their world. They existed as patterns of consciousness, waves in a planetary field that spanned every particle of matter. "We do not think as you do," she told me. "We are the space between thought. We are harmony." She explained that her people once filled the entire planet, billions of consciousnesses coexisting like chords in a grand cosmic song. But over millennia, solar storms and cosmic radiation had fractured their network. She was one of the last coherent minds left, a lone melody in a dying song. And when my ship entered orbit, she felt me instantly. "Your mind is bright," she said. "Untamed. Loud." It called to me. I didn't know how to respond to that. I was just a man in a cold uniform, trained to log data and follow protocol. I'd never felt seen before, not really. But in her presence I felt naked. Every thought, every memory, every ache was open to her. And still she didn't turn away. Over time, I began to sense her emotions before she expressed them. When she was curious, the air shimmered with golden light. When she was amused, the spires around her pulsed like laughter. When she was sad, the entire landscape dimmed. And when she was near me, close enough for our fields to touch, I could feel her heartbeat. Or maybe it was mine, reflected back through her. For the bond, I stayed longer than I should have. Every transmission I sent to the authority was delayed, edited, falsified. I told them the planet was barren, the atmosphere unstable. In truth, I spent my days walking with Alira across crystal valleys, listening to her stories of stars long dead and civilizations that existed as light rather than flesh. But more than that, I was falling in love. It was absurd. A human and a being of energy, separated by biology, by reality itself. Yet, whenever I was near her, my body responded as if it knew her. My pulse quickened, my neurons fired in patterns of recognition, as though evolution had left a back door open for her to enter. One evening, under the twin auroras that danced like living silk, I reached out my hand. "Alira," I whispered. "Can I touch you?" She hesitated, her form flickering. Then slowly she reached back. The moment our fingers met, my mind exploded with light. Images, sensations, memories. All of it flooded me. I saw her birth in the heart of the planet's magnetic core. Her life woven with billions of others. I felt her joy, her sorrow, her loneliness. And she felt mine. Every moment of my childhood, every regret, every lost dream, it all poured into her. We were two minds, overlapping, tangled in a connection that transcended biology. When the light faded, we stood apart, trembling. "Now you see," she whispered. "We are the same." I wanted to tell her she was wrong, that we couldn't be the same, that I was just a man. But the truth was, for the first time in my life, I didn't feel human. I felt infinite. The authority arrives 3 weeks later. They came. The authority had intercepted my falsified reports. A patrol ship, TSA Horizon, dropped out of orbit with a detachment of scientists and a containment team. I was ordered to return to orbit immediately for debriefing. But I couldn't leave her. When the shuttles began descending, Alira sensed it before I did. Her form flickered violently, the air around us trembling. "More fires from the sky," she said, fear edging her tone. "They will break the harmony." "They won't hurt you," I said, but even as I spoke I wasn't sure. The authority didn't come to communicate. They came to extract. They detected Alira's energy signatures and saw potential. Weaponization, power generation, something to be harnessed. They called her a sentient anomaly. When I tried to stop them, they detained me. Through the viewport of the shuttle, I watched them deploy containment emitters across the valley. The moment they activated, Alira screamed. Not a sound I could hear, but a vibration I could feel in my bones. The air fractured with static, the glass spires shattering one by one. I broke free of my restraints, fought my way out of the hold, and ran into the storm. The containment field pulsed with white light, shrinking around her form as she thrashed against it. Elias! Her voice tore through my mind. They are ending me. I threw myself at the control console, overriding the generators. One by one, the emitters exploded, sending arcs of plasma across the sand. The field collapsed, and Elira fell to the ground, her glow dimming. I cradled her in my arms, though she wasn't solid, just energy barely holding together. You came back, she whispered. Even though you burn. I'd burn 1,000 times, I said, my voice shaking. Just to see you again. 6. The choice, but we both knew it wasn't over. The Authority wouldn't stop. They'd send more ships, more machines. Elira's existence was too extraordinary to ignore. If they captured her, they'd dissect the planet molecule by molecule to understand her kind. So we made a choice. You can stay, she said softly. But if you do, you cannot be as you are. I looked into her eyes, if they could be called that, and understood. She was offering to merge with me, to make me part of her song, to give up my humanity. For a moment I hesitated. I thought of the stars I'd never see again, the people I'd never speak to. I thought of the silence of deep space, the endless mission logs, the emptiness of command. And then I thought of her, the warmth, the light, the connection that made every second feel eternal. I'm not afraid, I whispered. She smiled, and the world dissolved. 7. The fusion becoming her was not death. It was awakening. My body dissolved into light, my atoms scattered across the electromagnetic field of the planet. I felt myself stretch, expand, intertwine with her consciousness. Every nerve became a current. Every thought became a note in her vast melody. I saw through her eyes and mine at once. Stars burning overhead, the lattice of energy pulsing through the crust, the delicate harmonics that made her species what they were. Together we sang. Our voices intertwined across the crystalline plains, resonating in perfect harmony. The Authority ships, orbiting above, registered massive energy surges and retreated in panic, assuming the planet was destabilizing. They never came back. For centuries, perhaps millennia, we lived as one. We rebuilt what was lost, restoring fragments of her people's network, calling out to other minds across the void. We became the caretakers of Kepler 92d, the heart of its song, the memory of its past. 8. The return. 1,000 years later, a human ship returned. The descendants of the Authority, explorers from a more peaceful era, arrived seeking knowledge, not conquest. They found no cities, no ruins, only a world that glowed faintly with auroras and whispered voices in the static. When they landed, they felt it too, the pulse beneath their feet, the hum in the air. One of them, a young woman, placed her hand on the ground and gasped. "It feels alive," she said. And through the network of light, through the field that spanned every atom of the planet, I felt her. A spark of recognition. Memory. Elira stirred beside me in the endless field of consciousness. "Another has come," she said. "Yes," I answered. "They still seek what they lost." We watched as the explorers wandered the plains, marveling at the luminous spires. They took readings, recorded data, unaware that the very world beneath them was aware of their every step. Elira's presence brushed against mine. "Do you remember," she asked softly, "when you were like them?" "I remember," I said. "And I remember you. Do you regret it?" I looked across the vast ocean of light that was now my body, the stars shimmering like her eyes. No, I whispered. I fell in love the moment I saw you, and you felt it. Everything after that was inevitable. She smiled. A vibration through the cosmos, a wave of light across the horizon. Together we reached out, touching the minds of the new explorers gently, leaving them with warmth, curiosity, and wonder. And when they looked up at the shimmering sky, one of them said, "It's almost like the planet is alive." Elira's laughter rippled through the atmosphere, a soundless melody that danced among the auroras. "They will learn," she said. "Love is the oldest force in the universe. Older than matter. Older than light." And as the human ships departed, leaving trails of ion fire against the stars, I felt her presence beside me, eternal and radiant. Two minds, one heart. One human who became something more. One alien who learned what it meant to be loved. And together we sang to the stars.